Question I want to ask you, with that extra meal that you don't have to do much fundraising, is that going to be the case?
Fundraising, never stops to do
We're
fundraising.
going to do some of that. Hopefully you won't have to do as much. Hopefully you'll leave some of that. I know it won't be your training hours you put in, but hopefully you won't have to do all the extra hours for the training.
I want to thank you for it. I mean, obviously we haven't seen it yet, but I mean, to realize the effect of it. And when I see it in front of me, I'll actually say, yeah, it's there, but that's a significant increase. I don't think anybody's here is unhappy with that.
That goes into effect in 2022.
Yes, exactly. Or it's been delayed again, or the check's in the mail.
Hey, that's singing the chorus for you, too, you know?
Tom mentioned about that fine print, right?
Yeah. But in the long run, for long-range planning, we are planning we may have a little more flexibility in equipment purchases because of that. We're already thinking about that.
We didn't know how it was going to go with it, and how we're going to allocate it.
Well, it's just like the pricing that stuff's on ours now. We just ordered, what, 2 valves, and they're $3,000 for 2 valves.
Refurbished stuff.
Yeah, refurbished, not even new. Just 2 valves to hook up to the hydrant.
You guys are like the astronauts in the U.S. military, huh?
Yeah,
You buy $600.
When you put fire service to it, the price goes up.
As far as the money goes, in the past, we were supposed to turn in a report accounting for how that money was spent. Is that still a procedure?
Yeah, required by law.
Is there some type of form that you want? And I've asked this question in the past and it's never been answered.
Let me tell you this right off the bat, and we'll get right to that point then. I think that, at least for the rest of the year now, we have somebody on the board that might be able to coordinate better with you guys and we have a little better, closer relationship. So I wanted to appoint DJ as our liaison between the board and the fire departments and emergency services. And I think that'll help us to, he is pretty good at keeping us informed even so far in a couple of months, 2 months that he's been here, and I think that'll continue on the rest of the year.
I have some questions on that. DJ, have you been going to all the firemen's meetings?
Well, I can only go to one company's meeting because I'm only a member of one company. So I'm only permitted to enter one company's meeting. So I haven't been going to all of them, just one.
So how can you be the spokesman for all of the firemen?
Well, not the spokesman for, I'm not speaking for
liaison.
I am the person who they would come to if they have a question regarding something to do with the township, and then I can go ahead and take it to the appropriate professional and try to work that out.
Question.
Save the time.
Is this temporary or is this a permanent thing?
I'll do it for a month if you want, or one day, give me 1 day a week. I mean, I don't care.
I'm just trying to learn. I'm asking.
No, it's
you.
probably
I think
as long
it'd
as
be good
he's
this year.
As long as he's aware.
Well, let's do it for the rest of the year, at 9 months. Less than that.
I have a question. Do you have any conflict of interest on this?
I don't own any property, other properties in Cecil
Well, that has
Township. I don't own a
nothing, this has
business.
nothing to do with property.
Well,
I'm just
I don't know
trying
what
to
the conflict
determine,
is.
where's your first loyalty? Is it to the fire departments or is it to the supervisor?
It's my country and my township.
Yeah, that's not a fair question.
Yeah,
think
no,
that's really
I'm just
fair.
looking, all I'm going to do is take information from these guys and bring it to the people here, or the professionals, so that the professionals.
Does this mean we don't have to have any more meetings?
No, we're required by Act 64 to meet.
Absolutely not.
Act 64 requires the municipality to meet with the emergency services.
The other thing though is we all, board members anyhow, we all have a niche of where we fit in with the township, and we all have something we might be a little better at than the rest of them. And we've never really had a fireman here.
I think what they're saying is he understands how we operate. He's been a fireman. So he can mostly understand what we're saying and give us the way to bring it to the board. That's all there is.
Or to bring it in faster, so that if there's an issue that can't wait for 3 months when we're meeting again, DJ obviously has direct access to all of us.
And obviously, I think it's important if the departments agree. If anybody, I mean, I'd be more than happy to do whatever they want. If the departments don't agree with it, I'm okay with it too.
Well, when we met with you last week, we said, you have your chance, right?
Yeah, I have
We all agree.
and I have an opportunity to try to help out.
We're all with that. We'll have the other part. departments feel, everybody feels comfortable with it.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll let you know if we're not.
If we're not.
I mean, give the guy a chance.
We told him we was gonna give him the road.
Hey, believe me, they let you know when they're not satisfied with our job.
This is true.
Well,
We're unhappy that we get 12 fire trucks in the parking lot.
Yeah,
Bobby, you can decide how you're
and the keys.
Or we've been fired in the past.
And a bunch of Fairline beer.
Like, we're not gonna call you for like every little nitpick thing, right?
If you want.
So because I always been okay just picking up the phone, calling Sean, calling Bill,
No, there's-
calling whoever,
yeah.
just so I need so to call.
No,
Okay.
this is more of a, like planning and zoning, for an example. That might be something that we all sit down and
I'll be
talk
calling you
about.
every day for planning and zoning.
But again,
You better
like,
leave room for my calls.
and the thing is, what obviously, what we say is confidential. If you have a problem with something, it's something that we keep in-house. It's just another sounding board, someone else for you to talk to, and go from there. By all means, especially police matters, go right to the chief.
If you still have a question, if you talk to DJ and you still don't feel satisfied, you can always still come to any one of us, or to the chief, or to Bill, or to whoever. It's just to make it, I think the goal, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, is to make it easier for you guys to come to us, to get to us, or to get to somebody.
I think the most odd we ever felt was just a lack of communication. I think it's probably the worst of anything in a relationship.
No,
Making
but
it
for
help.
example, your 3 company meetings, if you want me to come and talk, you want to give me 15 minutes of that, and, shoot me some things that I can go back and work on, that's fine too.
I definitely want you at the 3 meeting like before,
Yeah.
because that way we're all on the same page at the same time and not getting.
First part of the
everyone's
meeting,
voice.
we'll come in, we have a
Right,
discussion.
we'll
Yes,
discuss
great.
things, you guys give me a laundry list of things that you want me to check into or whatever, then I can, then I can come back either to you guys individually, or the department that have the question, or all 3 companies and say, hey, because like I said, I have email addresses for everybody, so I can just email you guys, and this is what I found out on this. And that way, we're all on the same page. Everybody got the same email, everybody got the same answer. If it's okay with you guys. that's fine.
I'm looking at our prior minutes from some of the other meetings, and one of the things that was brought up that the fire departments each kind of appoint somebody to go ahead and contact the board if they have a problem. This way, the board's giving you somebody to contact too. We're kind of doing the same thing, so, but it doesn't mean that you can't talk to any of us either, we can all be accessible. But I think DJ just be the first go-to person for us, and then we can all go from there if we need to go further in any issue, okay, guys?
They're all okay with an IM too? What we'll do this at our next meeting then.
We can make a motion and do that if we want to, and just make it official.
At the next, at our.
At our regular meeting, at our regular board of supervisors meeting.
And we typically invite them to the other departments, public meetings, their monthly meetings.
Well, you provide dinner for us. That's part of the deal.
Congratulations, DJ, you got 4 more meetings to go through.
How you gonna like that?
And I heard he brings candy to meetings. All right, is this an agenda you guys would want?
This is actually what we discussed last week at our district meeting for ourselves to present to you. I think we're all on the same page on these bullet points. That's all it is, bullet points for discussions. Can I actually see it for a minute? I give all my copies up. Yeah, no, that's fine. If you notice, I think that's a good place to start, the fire alarm ordinance issues. You guys want to start with that? I mean, if we go down our list, then you can bring up whatever you guys have for us. Give our agenda. And this is part of what we'll be working with DJ about these kind of things, because he's got some suggestions and some possible. That's the one I emailed you.
What, are you on number 1?
Yeah, number 1. After discussion, it was agreed that the police should issue citations for false alarms, residential and commercial. 3 incidents in a 12-month period would initiate a fine situation, and that the revenue collected should go to the township. Existing state law should cover the citation. Police department would handle paperwork and collections. Obviously, that's what we decided.
Can I ask a question?
That's up to you.
How many candy bars did you buy?
I bought 5. I don't need another 5.
And we do realize that would fall on Carol. That's what we're not.
Against the-
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
So what would a false alarm be? Like if I, say for example, I don't know, burnt something, which
Not that, not a
which
false alarm.
never happens in my
Yeah,
house.
that's not a
That's
problem.
not a false
So
alarm.
what would be a, what would
We,
cause
ECI is
trouble?
doing remodeling, and there's dust went on the air, and it sent off the fire alarm. So that's a false alarm.
But is that really in their?
Well, I wouldn't consider that. a
Well,
false
they were
alarm.
supposed to call and disconnect.
If they're having
Because they're
a problem
building-
with the system,
It wasn't
and
a.
they don't correct it, we give them one false alarm, give them two. On the third false alarm, if they don't correct the problem,
You're very generous.
We went to Crown Castle one night. I think almost all of us was there.
Yeah.
We went there, we got toned out 3 times within an hour for the same issue. And then like 3 days after that, we got toned out there to go again. And then a week after that, we got toned out there, said to go again. All the same problem.
What was the problem?
A heat detector kept going off
we need to change.
that
I
needed
think
fixed.
This gives them incentive to have.
They wasn't fixing it, they
people
was
in there.
turning the alarm off and so that was it.
My
Well,
only
did-
suggestion is.
Now, something like that
We
is a
need
problem.
to be, I don't disagree with this at all. In fact, I think it's necessary. But I think when we write this, we need to be very specific in what we're saying a false alarm is, because otherwise you're gonna have people fighting these.
They're gonna find it.
There are real standards, we're not making it up, we can get it from the guidelines.
It's covered,
include this.
there is a section of the crime code that covers.
So you don't have to write an ordinance, we have the ability now.
Right, so I think we need to define the false alarm.
Yeah, I think we just need to define
Yeah,
it.
that should be.
And it'll cut down the questions.
And there's still gonna be people fighting.
I understand.
But it gives someone listening to DJ who might want to, on our
Right,
report, in
hold
our
it up.
favor.
Right, and that's what you'd want. You'd want them to fight it and have the district justice say, wait a second, it says right here that what you're saying is actually a false alarm. You, for example, you knew your heat sensor was bad, you failed to repair it, sorry.
I'm speaking on behalf of the burglar alarms. We do not get a lot in fighting. I mean, we shoot, the burglar alarms, we do not get a lot that do not want to pay. Carol's pretty good at collecting, so she will be on. Yeah, but even though I still
These
think-
guys, we have to be in the range that discourages sending out $1 million piece of
Well, that's what I
apparatus.
mean, though. You're more or less focusing on not so much residential, you're commercial, correct?
Yeah.
It would be the same, but.
Usually, we don't have a problem with residential people. It's the commercial people. We'll go out there the same time 3 weeks in a row, and they know that they have a bad sensor, and they won't get first in their thing.
So we're not talking about 3 false alarms in one night that somebody has a sensor that keeps going.
Oh, no, not in one night. If it's going on for a week or a week
I
or two,
understand if it's a week or so.
Yeah, not just 3 in
I
one
see,
night.
but if you had to respond to the same.
It has
I mean,
happened.
we cleared the building, we're actually sitting in the parking lot, the control called us again, and said the alarm's going back off.
I would rule out the same night, because if you don't want to get called at like 9 at night and then.
No, I'm just saying, it happened the next day, it happened a week down the road, it happened, so, another week.
I don't want to
Yeah,
limit.
it's like,
Cindy's right, the definition has to be very.
right.
The witness, the
They went in court, yeah.
And I can agree, if you cover all our bases in a 3-hour time, 3 hour on the same call,
That
we
we
need to make sure that we
false
have.
alarm for that night.
We have our,
They didn't fix it by the
Right.
next Tuesday or whatever.
How much?
Only about the second.
There's no amount here.
Well, there is an amount, in the crime code, it specifically states what they can be fined.
How much?
There's a
I
maximum.
can't remember what it is.
I think there's flexibility.
I think it's.
There's flexibility.
I think it's $1,000 maximum, but
Yeah.
we can
Yeah,
say
but I
what we
think we
want.
set up,
And
What would you think? What amount would you, if you were setting it? Say with not to exceed 1,000.
I would say 300 to start.
300 to start.
You have the flex, it's not fixed. If it's the same person, you might go to 400 the next time, 500. I mean,
Going up incrementally or always staying at 300?
no, if it's a chronic problem,
no.
a chronic offender.
If they continue,
You have to follow what the crimes code says.
yeah.
And what
You
does
can't
the
just-
crime?
But he's saying.
No, but it says it goes from
let's
300 to
say
1,000.
at-
That's up to
He's
the
saying it says-
magistrate.
Yes.
It can't
Yes.
exceed 1,000.